Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afkar, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of Your Divine Uniqueness. So happy to have you with us, whether on the live call or on the replay. And and also really happy that Miriam Katz is back with us on the show. Yeah, always really excited when she joined us. It's been years now that she's been joining us on the show, and every time, like the guidance, the energy that she brings, it's really profound, um, and also very very inspiring. It's how to say, it's like energetically, it feels like the quotes and the energy that she transmits and shares really touch deep into helping us to connect deeply to that remembrance of our true self and really see reality in a different perspective that really can help us um, to embody our sovereignty, to embody our true self. So yeah, so really excited that she's back. And for those of you who are new to her, um, she is a shamanic healer and teacher who channels the divine feminine energy of the goddess in all her forms. And the subject today is activating our Grail codes in the Aquarian age. So she will be sharing about that, and also she will guide us on an activation to awaken our own Grail codes. So stay tuned for that. It will be really powerful, and also we'll have a Q&A where you can ask her your questions. So for that, if you are on Zoom, you can raise your hand by pressing react or reaction, then raise hand. If you are on the phone, you can press star 9, and also you can type your questions on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. And yeah, so with that, Miriam, welcome back to the show. Happy to have you with us.
Thank you, Monsef. It is so fun to be back here, and I feel so nostalgic coming and seeing your smiling face, your radiating self again. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with everyone who has gathered live and on the replay.
Yeah, yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, also really happy that you are here with us. And yeah, so let's start maybe in the beginning talking about the Aquarian age and your perspective about like humanity's evolution toward that shift.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this threshold that we're crossing. And as someone who is tapped into the energies of what's happening and also listening to my counterparts who are teaching and tuning in, and everyone is like a unique jigsaw puzzle piece of the whole. And so everyone has a different perspective and a slightly different sense of what's coming through. And for me, I'm really excited about this crossing over because we're entering into this great Aquarian age, this time where our symbol is water, where we become the carriers of water. And the more I study about the different elements and the more I tune into water, which is an element that I'm deeply enmeshed with, and it's encoded in my name, in my Hebrew name. My name is water. That's kind of the vessel that holds myself. And then being a Pisces, being someone who deeply relates to the realm of the emotion, being a clairsentient, someone who feels deeply. There's something about water that is such a manifestation of wisdom. And this is something really important for us to embrace as we move into this age because we're coming out of an age of reason. And I have nothing against reason. It's super helpful. And we have these amazing computing machines that are our minds, our brains. And we're only seeing part of the picture when we're working within the realm of reason. Most of us are aware of the two hemispheres of the brain and how we have the logical, rational brain, and then we also have the imaginal brain where we can receive information from other realities, other dimensions, higher aspects of ourselves, and we can also use that imaginal quality to create that which is in our hearts to birth into this world. And that really feels to me like the realm of wisdom. I mean, wisdom straddles both worlds, but as we tune into emotions, which are the energy of water as well, we're beginning to understand that it's not just facts and information that carry knowledge, but there's a deeper underpinning, a source of knowledge that is wisdom, and that is a level of truth that can be felt. And the more we tune into our feelings, the more we realize that when we're walking around in the world as if our feelings are untrue or undependable, we're walking around having negated some of our most valuable not only information, but knowing, bodily, deep bodily knowing. And I feel like the empaths have helped to wake us up to the importance of clairsentience, which means clear feeling. So, this sense of my body is a barometer for this world that I'm in, for this home that I've walked into, for this person I'm interacting with, for this society. And there's really crucial information that can tell us, is this a safe place for me? Is it not? What do I need to know here that can help me to navigate and uh, come out of this situation with the highest possible outcome? So I feel like I've been speaking in a bunch of different directions, but the key message here that I want you to take is that the Aquarian age is one in which wisdom, the wisdom of water, and the wisdom, therefore, of our bodies, which are majority water, is what is emerging. And this is so important. We are each a water bearer. We are each a bearer of wisdom, and we each have a unique lens or chalice or vessel that is holding the wisdom and that informs the relationship with wisdom.
Mhm. Um, let me mute you. Okay. So that was really beautiful. I love how you described that. And so from my understanding, because we talk about the Grail in the Aquarian age, and because many times we imagine it as it's like a vessel. It's how to say, like a cup, but how you describe it, it's more like those codes that connects to those aspects of us that activates the inner wisdom, the love, and the higher purpose that can be expressed in this lifetime. So I would love if you can tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I have a visual that I like to show when I'm talking about the Grail, because the Grail is a physical cup. It's a sacred cup, but or this is an image of it out in the world. But where it really comes from is our energy body. And so a lot of us know about our aura, a lot of us know about our chakras. One of the things that is really important to know about is that each organ of our body is giving off an electromagnetic field. And when those fields are measured, and we're measured by the Heart Math Institute, what we learn is that our heart is the most powerful organ of the body. And it has this emanation that is so big and so powerful that it emanates, above our heads and below our feet. And it's coming out in a toroidal shape, which is a torus, Torus. It is a donut shape. And this is a building block that you see in the world. People in physics are measuring different toroidal fields that are both macrocosmic and microcosmic. So they're enormous and they're small, and they're holographic as well. And so when we start to tune into our heart field, what we see is this donut shape that's emanating around. And if you look at a donut shape, it ends up having two circles, right? If you were to do a cross section of a donut that was laying on a table, you'd see two circles. And in between those circles, I'm trying to get my fingers to the right place, you would see a grail shape, right? Like, this is the central pillar of our energy body. And so as we start to tune into the mechanics of that energy field, this is then our vessel, our sacred vessel that holds, that serves as a channel for divine wisdom, whether it's coming from the earth below us or the sky above us and all of the lights that are above us, the sun, the moon, the stars. And so we both channel this wisdom and we hold this wisdom. And it informs who we are, what our life purpose is. And it also informs how we emanate, what kind of codes each of us is emanating out into this world and how we're impacting people around us. So I'm really passionate about this, and it's important. I feel like it's an important message for everyone to know because we are all divine, and I feel like it's a time that we're all waking up to that divinity, that knowing that we're not simply human, we're not less than. We are each a royal being, a holy sacred being, and this is the sacred anatomy of our divinity that helps us to learn more about who we are and what we're here to offer.
Yeah. Um, I really love that that you talked about that. But my question is about how can we uh, approach these unique aspects, those codes that help us to interact with reality, with others, and express our wisdom and gifts. Because also many times when we hear like our uniqueness or unique gifts, we try to identify it, give it an identity, give it an image in comparison with others, what they are doing. And we don't let that unique aspect of us shine through. So how do you see us like approaching that?
Yeah, that's a really insightful perspective around identifying with something. And once we've identified with it, it becomes fixed in a sense. And so, one of the most important things to think about when we're talking about a grail is that it is a channel of wisdom. And wisdom, as it channels through us, is changing in each moment and it's changeable. And so it's a dynamic interrelationship and interplay between the divine vessels that we are and the divine wisdom that's moving through us. So we might, when I do Grail readings, I am taking a snapshot of what a person's energy field looks like in a given moment, and I'm letting them know what it looks like and what some of the elements are. But if we think about vessels like this, for example, if I were to bring in a bunch of fire to this silver chalice, it would change color and it might even change shape, right? And then if I were to bring in water after that, something else might happen. And so uh, know that even though you may have some qualities that hold true to who you are at your very essence, and our work is to continue to mine and dig deeper and connect to that essence so we can get to know each other at more and more profound levels. That it's a changing dynamic relationship, and your level of truth of what your grail is and what you're here to do this year may be very different from what it is 5 years from now. And I've certainly found that on the spiritual path where I feel like I have a eureka one day and I'm like, oh my God, this is what I'm here to teach, to learn, to work with. And then 5 years from now, it has morphed into something totally different. So we're looking for our essence, and the essence is almost an infinite quest where we can always, when we're zooming in on something and going into the heart of it, you can get to increasingly smaller macrocosmic levels of who you are and more essential levels, but they're still part of the same whole. So even a snapshot of who you are and what your energy is like now will have some bearing and a lot of relevance for your own self-growth quest.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for that. And so So now in relationship to the collective, because part or an essential part of your work is channeling the divine feminine energy, and also it's awakening in these times. So how do you see that? Like, how can we bring balance first within us between the divine feminine and masculine through what you talked about, like the Grail codes and activating those as we shift into the Aquarian age?
Yeah, so beautiful question. We have been in an age of a long period of patriarchy. And I think one of the easy misconceptions, the ways that patriarchy can be misconstrued, is to say that it benefited men over women. And I know that that could be taken as, moving into the realm of politics, which I don't seek to do. But what I want, the point that I want to underscore here is that while men were empowered and a more violent, kind of rational worldview was dominant, it hurt us all equally, right? So, like, different people were persecuted, whatever, but we all have divine masculine and divine feminine. And our both of them were othered because we had this kind of lesser form of masculine leadership that subjugated or pushed down our own divinity, whether it's divine feminine or divine masculine. We're at a moment right now in the collective where the divine feminine is rising. And the divine feminine moves in circles or spirals. So if you think about our world community, right, we have a lot of humans out there and all sorts of beings on this earth who have been othered, who have been told that they're wrong and they're not okay. The divine feminine is here to bring us all into these open arms of unconditional love, which is exactly the medicine that everybody needs right now. Because we all need to remember our wholeness and remember our tribe, our earthly community that we all incarnated here on this planet to be a part of. And so the first step towards repair is to remember love, to remember that we are loved, and to remember that we are all loved equally and infinitely. And so the divine feminine is rising to do that. And as this divine feminine leadership steps forward, what happens necessarily is our divine masculine rises up from the facade of masculinity that has been running this world, that has been dominant in this world, so that the divine masculine can come and meet the divine feminine. And divine masculine carries energies of forward motion, of taking action, of outward leadership, of support. And divine feminine, these two facets of ourselves, they are, the other thing that's important to know about them is they're on a spectrum. So if you're looking at divine femininity and divine masculinity in their polar opposites, you're going to see like one picture. But when you start to tune into the energies in the body, what you learn is that there's a whole spectrum, and that you could also look at them from the center and see where is the intertwining of these energies. And you can see different levels of concentration of how they balance and counterbalance each other. And so there's a really interesting interplay that's possible when we start to tune into our own divine masculinity and divine femininity. And because the divine feminine is stepping forward right now within us and around us, our masculine can rise to meet it, and we can elevate as a totality.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's like when we how to say, allow to or support the awakening of the divine feminine. It's like naturally it will bring balance between the two. It's like they co-create, they go hand in hand as we awaken within, and also allow more balance into our life, and also how we interact with the collective. So yeah, really beautiful. And we have a comment from early on YouTube from Angel. I just finished reading an ebook talking about the beginning of consciousness and how we return through unity. It mentions the toroidal shape as well. And yeah, so do you feel maybe guided to do the activation right now?
Yeah, and I want to also name what this activation is. I know you've asked kind of a few different times, and I get excited about uh, areas that we're focusing on, and certain things will channel through. So let me kind of pause and talk about this activation, which is something that I've not offered in this particular way before. So oftentimes when I'm teaching about the Grail, I'm doing it one on one and I'm tuning into people's energy fields and sharing them. When we tune in right now, we're tuning into this template of the Grail that is active within each of us. And it's sort of like when I talk about a template for this energy field, it's sort of like the equivalent of an archetype, right? For a person. So you might have like a mother archetype that everyone has, but it's going to manifest differently for everyone. So the template of the Grail, everyone has this sort of Grail central channel in their energy body. And when we tap into that template, we're going to activate the Grail codes within you so that your divine capacity to hold, to channel, and to outpour, to overflow, and to serve are being activated at the level that is appropriate for each person who is tuning into this in their own way and in their own time. And the intention for the Grail, and this is all channeling through right now, so I'm becoming aware of it in the same moment as you are. The intention for the Grail is not only that it meet each person exactly where they are in this moment, but also that it be a flow, an unfolding energy packet, an energy template that's being offered to you so that it's meeting you where you're at now and it's continuing to percolate, to open, to overflow in the time to come as you move into the next version of yourself and the next version of yourself. Because this, as we talked about the dynamic nature of the Grail, which was, inspired through this interplay between Monsef and myself, as Monsef's asking, well, we don't want something that's just static. This is something that is growing with us. We don't want to identify and stop that growth. So the activation that is happening here is one that unfolds as we rise to meet it. And so there's something that's already actually being activated as I'm speaking to you. I'm feeling it coming up from the belly. There's something that's activating in you now. And then as you rise to meet it, it opens up more and more and more, kind of like a wisdom book that you read, and you read it, you meet it at first on the level that you're at. We're talking about a text that resonates on a really deep level, right? In a really profound way. And then maybe you put the book down and open it at a different place at a different time in your life, or maybe you've read it through and then you meet it again and you've become a different person. And as a result, this wisdom that is available to you through the book is showing itself, revealing itself on an even more profound level. And this book of wisdom is the perfect metaphor for your Grail, because each of us is a living tome of knowledge, of wisdom, of teachings that we are here to offer. And some of us offer them just merely by our presence, and some of us consciously teach them. And so I'm going to invite you to take a moment and to go inwards. So maybe that's having a soft gaze, or maybe it's closing your eyes, and starting to breathe through that central channel of your energy field. And knowing that this central channel widens as it goes up towards the head and narrows down to the heart, which is the 0 point and the field from which everything is emanating. So it's coming close and more concentrated. That energy is more concentrated as it's in the Grail center. And then that energy field is also widening as it gets closer to your feet. And so it's a bit like a whirlwind that is open at the bottom and open at the top. And this whirlwind is actually one of the names for the divine feminine. And in Hebrew, this name is Sufa, which comes from the same root as Sufi, you know, this form of ecstatic connection with the divine that spins. And so this divine feminine energy, this wisdom that is rotating its way through us, is spiraling out from the heart. And she's spiraling out from the heart and up through your energy field, up above your head, and then cycling down and coming up through your feet and back into the heart and around again. And at the same time, she's also going downwards from the heart center and spiraling down through your feet and around that donut shape, that toroidal field, and then back in through the top of your head. And these are just the most obvious directions that we can track, but there are infinite other directions and spirals and patterns in which this divine feminine energy is flowing, this electromagnetic field. And I'm going to invite you to take your fingers and to start to tap around the heart center. So the heart center, the energetic center of the heart, is in the center of the chest. And you can just take your fingertips, maybe it's 4 of them, maybe it's 5 of them on either side, and start to tap around the heart center. I call this the bone cave, right? So the bone cave is that protective divine feminine space, like a womb at the center of the chest, that is holding your heart center within it. And so this is a really protective and powerful place. And it's protecting your greatest treasure being your heart and your heart field. And as we start to consciously tap on the bone cave of the heart, we are inviting this protector of the heart's wisdom and the heart's light to wake up. And we're saying, I see you and I feel you. And I know there is a treasure deep inside. And I am inviting that treasure to awaken for me. And you can even start to move your hands, your fingertips, to the center of your heart, to the front of your heart center in that bone cave area, and start to tap on that. And you can trust your own intuition around how you're wanting to tap on that heart with love, with curiosity and openness, and start to notice how the heart responds to this rhythm that you are offering the heart center, which is like a response to that heart rhythm that she's always sending to us, right? If our heart field is feminine and she's tapping this rhythm, we're tapping back to her, kind of like a dance or like Morse code, where we're saying, thank you for your communication. And now I'm going to follow my own intuition. And I'm going to dance with my fingertips, and I'm going to send in a rhythm that is awakening something in you. And this rhythm is unique to you and to what your body is wanting right now. And so just trusting. And as you send that rhythm in, and that rhythm for you may be stopping, it may be continuing, just trusting that. You're going to bring your awareness to your heart center, which is the energetic center of the Grail. It is the space that creates the Grail, that births the Grail. And you're going to tune in and notice what your heart is transmitting to you in this moment. And as you open up in curiosity, it's a sign of safety. It's a sign of openness, of moving into a child mind or a beginner mind, and of allowing. And so as we move into this space of curiosity and allowing, I'm going to go silent, and we're going to tune in and allow our hearts to transmit whatever it is they want us to know and receive. And everything that you're receiving individually is being informed by what is happening in the collective right now. This Grail code, this template that is awakening within each of us, within our sacred energy body. And you might have a question that you want to offer to your heart center. And so you can bring that question into your heart. And if you don't have one that's coming up for you, I'm going to offer one to you, which is, what is my divine potential in this moment? So as you bring a question into your heart, you open up with receptivity and suspending judgment, just moving into a place of openness, and just allow it to transmit, whether through words, through knowing, through feeling, through melody, through images. And the other piece that wants to be shared, that's awakening on behalf of the collective, is the dragon field of our energy body. And dragons are like the bone caves. They are the guardians of the Grail. They are intricately linked to this wisdom chalice, this wisdom holder. They are the protector, and they are also ancient, primordial wisdom holders. So they're connected to the Grail, and they're also bigger than that, and still a part of us. And so as these templates are awakening, one of the pieces that's awakening for you in your own time, as you're ready to receive it, is your own dragon, guardian, protector in your field, guardian of the Grail and of the knowledge that is always being channeled through it in every moment and being emanated from it. There's something about the awakening of this dragon that's calling for a stretching. And so you can stretch out your arms, you can stretch out your fingertips, and kind of stretching them outwards and then upwards as you feel ready, because there's something about, we've gotten used to being very small and very contained in our bodies. And so as the dragon energy is waking up within us, it is wanting us to stretch our sense of what's possible and of who we are. And so really just allowing yourself to grow into your body and into your energy field around you. And the motion that's coming up for me is kind of a stretching out of that, the edges of the torus. So if I could take my hands and kind of stretch out that toroidal shape that my arms naturally trace as I stretch out to the farthest reaches of my field, around, above me, below me. there's like a pushing, a stretching, like bringing in the element of ether, of space, and creating more space for me to take up my own field, for my enormous dragon self, my dragon template to come on board so that I can remember my ancientness, my power, and my largesse, that bigness of who I am. So breathing through your field in a bigger way, as if your body were big enough to hold the Taurus inside of it, as if you are the dragon guardian who is holding your treasure within its belly, even like a great mother dragon. And as you expand your consciousness out around you, you're moving into pockets of energy that awaken the Grail codes, because the Grail codes are within that chalice at your center, and they're also within the dragon body that is holding it. And as you expand consciously into that dragon body, you reclaim aspects of yourself, your divinity. I keep wanting to say bigness or largesse, your enormity. Breathing all of these codes that are awakening inside of you, awakening because they're coming back on board. These were already here, and they're being remembered through your field. Noticing any places where there's more energy moving, any places that might be feeling sparkly or alive or flowy, little pockets of magic opening up within you. And as you notice them, you are integrating them. What we put our attention on expands. And so the more we tune in to the awakenings, the more we learn from them, and the more we put ourselves at the heart of them so that they can reach even more of us. So maybe you've moved all of your awareness into the juiciest place inside of you right now, the most active, alive space. And you're exploring with a sense of curiosity what is possible here. What is here for me? Just allowing lightly in a place of ease. And then tracking the wholeness, the entirety of your field in your body and around you, and in that big space around you, that dragon field. And from that dragon field, noticing how your Grail appears to you at the center of you. Noticing any colors, any imagery, any knowing. Just thanking your Grail for whatever it has revealed, whether it's what you might have expected or completely different, whether it was strong or very slight. Any bit of information that you received is a blessing, and as you put your attention on it, more becomes possible. And so thanking that which has revealed itself, thanking your dragon template, which is awakening. Breathing it all through your body in some integrating breaths through your heart center and down to your toes. Exhaling up and out through the crown of your head. Breathing through your heart center and down to your toes. And exhaling through your heart center and up and out through the crown of your head. Bringing your awareness to a space just above your head. It's wanting to reveal itself to you. And opening to whatever's coming through now and what will unfold in the days and weeks to come. When you're ready, you can come back into your space and we'll check back in. And I would love to hear when you're ready, how you're doing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Miriam. Yeah, for me it was really, really profound. Like first the openness of the heart and having that feeling of trust, but trust in my inner wisdom. And then it felt like the energy expanding and expanding even more, like more than I probably felt before. It was like there is a sense of peace, but also expansion at the same time. So yeah, thank you for that. And also, everyone, we'd love to hear your feedback. You can type it on the chat, whether on YouTube or Zoom. And also, we'll start taking questions in few minutes. So just a reminder, if you are on Zoom, you can raise your hand by pressing react or reaction, then raise hand if you want to ask your question or receive a reading from Miriam. And also you can, if you are on the phone, you can press *9, and you can also type your questions on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. And before that, Miriam, I would love if you can tell us about the program you are offering, which is your Divine Grail, Reading, Clearing, and Activation, which is a 60-minute one-on-one private session with you, and also a 3-part Kundalini activation series. And the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Miriam, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Miriam, MIRIAM. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also on YouTube video description, and I will put it also on the chat boxes. So yeah, Miriam, I would love if you can tell us about this program.
Great. So I like to pair the Divine Grail reading, clearing, and activation with a Kundalini activation, because what the Kundalini activation does, it's a 3-part self-initiated activation. It's on demand. It clears out your chakras and it allows your Kundalini to rise through your energy field. So what it's doing is it's awakening. It's clearing out anything standing in the way of the free flow of energy through your Grail. So I highly recommend doing that and then moving into the Grail reading, clearing, and activation. So this is a 60-minute one-on-one session with me. We often do it on Zoom, though phone works as well. And what we're doing is I'm tuning into your vessel of divinity, the central channel of your energy body, as we talked about just before. And this is your own unique delivery system for divine wisdom, for your life purpose, for who you are here to be. And purpose may be something that is just being you, your own uniqueness in your field, your divine uniqueness, as Monsef calls it. It could be tied to your vocation or the ways that you choose to serve others. And so I like to tune into your Grail and tell you about it and the unique facets of it. And then as part of that, we're looking at what is standing in the way of your own highest expression of your divine gifts in that moment, in that time where we're taking that snapshot of your divine vessel. And so there may be blocks or cracks or things like that, whether they're from old patterns, whether they're from traumatic imprints, from your own past lives, from ancestral patterns, from something that happened earlier in your life. So we look to clear those out. And these are those blockages or breakages within your field that are specifically limiting your own capacity to be the fullest, most divine expression of yourself possible in any given moment. So these are big pieces, because what we're talking about is no less than you waking up to the radiant, divine, higher being that you are, your higher self in human form. So we do that, and then we activate your Grail in a way that is unique to you, just like we did it today in a templated kind of way for everyone. And I channeled through for the collective. In your session, I'll be channeling that through for you, for what your own soul, your own higher self, and divinity is looking to express in that moment, and going forward from that session time. So that's it in a nutshell, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And so feel free to type in the chat if you have specific questions about what that session looks like. And I will be offering some mini Grail readings to give you a taste, and to tune into, those of you who are here live.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miriam. Very grateful to you, and for both offering the one-on-one session and giving that opportunity to go deeper, to connect to the divine Grail of each one who will be working with you, and connecting to the highest potential that they can express in this lifetime. So thank you for doing that. Always an honor to share your work with our audience, and also thank you for including as well the Kundalini activation. And again, everyone, I invite you to sign up to this program, and you can find it on the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Miriam, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Miriam, MIRIAM. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link is on YouTube video description, and also on the chat boxes. So let's see. First, we have feedback from Wanda. That was beautiful, Miriam. My body is vibrating. Thank you. And yeah, thank you, Wanda. And Nick, thank you, Miriam. I feel very calm and open, and enjoyed a sense of colors, energy, and strength. Thank you, Nick. That's question. So Tina, beautiful. Felt so much energy moving in my field. Loved that dragon energy that came in. Thank you, Tina. And so yeah, let's start with the questions. So first on YouTube from Angel. So from what I understood, we all are one consciousness, fragmented into different souls, learning the facets of the 0 point and coming back to unity. It's correct.
Is that a question? It sounds right to me. That
Yeah,
that
was
a question.
yeah, that sounds great.
Yes. Tina, can you please unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hello.
I would love it to have a mini Grail reading if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I'd be honored. Thanks for volunteering. Okay, wow. Tina, so the first thing that's coming up for you is strength, like real solidity and strength. The second thing, and the, Grails often have a material as I tune into them, and yours feels like a really strong, like a glass, but almost like a version of a sea glass. So sea glass has been weathered, it's been tested, it's been strengthened through its challenges and through the voyage it's been on. It's almost like a sea glass, but there's something a little bit different. There's something really unique to the matter or the energy that your grail is emanating. It's like I've not come across this material before. So the best way I can describe it is stronger than sea glass, shinier than sea glass, like brighter. Um, the piece about your grail that's really unique also that's coming through is I'm seeing a really big bowl. So if you're thinking about a grail as something that has a top and a bottom, it's as if your top is like 3/4 or what would that be, like 2/3 of the entirety of your grail. So what it says is two things. One is that you have a tremendously deep capacity to hold. You have a tremendously deep well. And so if you think about the grail as holding wisdom, then the depth of your wisdom is incredibly intense, incredibly deep. And in so that's one piece, is the capacity to hold. It also means that your capacity to serve is great, which also means that you need to be careful not to overdo it, because there's so much that you can give and you may feel like I need to give all that I have, but you don't want to burn yourself out or deplete yourself. To continue with the grail metaphor, you don't want to pour out everything you've got just because you can hold so much and because the quality of the depth of it is so profound. So really just know that the grail is there not only to serve others, but also first and foremost to serve you. And by drinking from it first, by holding the depth of your wisdom and enjoying it first, you are conveying that benefit to others just by definition of who you are, and being true to that depth that you hold.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. It sounds like I've done the exact opposite of what you said. I've given and given and given. And now I'm learning how to finally drink from my own cup. So, and I got to the point that I couldn't move. And now I'm just learning how to do it again.
Well, thank you for doing that. And know that when you serve yourself first, you are actually serving the collective on a deeper and more profound way. And so, if it takes remembering that, if it takes having that idea in order to retrain yourself to drink first from your own cup, then use that. Like whatever can help with that transition, because it's super important for you to like put your seatbelt on first, as they say on the plane. Like take care of yourself first. It's a holy imperative.
And I'm not sure exactly what. Oh my goodness, it keeps on echoing. I don't know why, but like I'll say it and I'll hear it again. That's weird. I don't know exactly what you shared at the beginning, but whatever it was exactly what I was hearing during the meditation. It felt like it was just a repeat of my awareness of what was being said to me. You just said again, so something I need to listen again to hear it. No, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah. Thank you, Tina. Much love. And also thank you, Miriam, for the guidance. And a question from Grace. Thanks, Miriam. Is there such a thing as a fire dragon? I heard this, then an image of a bird, then heard the name Horus.
Absolutely. The dragons, there are elemental dragons. So you will find fire dragons, you will find water, earth, air, ether. And there are infinite forms the dragons can take, but elemental dragons are some of the classical dragons. Is what I would do if I saw that bird and then got that name Horus, I would ask, is the name of the dragon Horus? And you would actually ask you would ask the dragon, is your name Horus? And see how that feels. But it sounds incredibly powerful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you, Miriam. And thank you, Grace, for your question. So, Deborah, can you please unmute yourself?
No, I'm on 7, Miriam. This is very good. Thank you. Thank you. Is that a double as well? Is it? Is it? I don't know why that is that way. I don't usually have this problem, so.
No, yeah, you can now
Now I
talk to
can?
her. Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
can.
Cool.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, I was hoping for a mini reading as well, please, Miriam. Thank you.
Great. I'm happy to. And I'll just say, if you asked something beforehand, I missed that. The sound wasn't working, but I'm very happy to tune in, Deborah, to your Grail. Wow. Okay, so the material that's coming up for your Grail, Deborah, is silver. And so if you think about silver and its qualities, first and foremost, it's showing up very shiny, very reflective. And so thinking of mirror and your capacity to, excuse me, to serve as a mirror for others of their own hopes, their own fears, which is a beautiful thing. It's a role of a teacher when you can serve as a mirror for someone. It also can get you into trouble because they can project onto you when they're looking at themselves in the mirror of your beautiful, reflective silver grail. They may start to engage with you as if you are their shadow or you are their greatest quality. And so your capacity to have someone's either dark shadow or golden shadow mirrored onto yourself, projected onto yourself, is huge. The other piece that's coming up around your beautiful silver grail is a really deep and kind of wide bowl. And I just want to take a moment to understand this. So I'm going to tune into that bowl and ask it to reveal its purpose and its traits to us. So the words breadth and depth are coming up. And what's unique about this is especially breadth. So we were talking before, in the last reading around the depth of the well. This one has breadth too. So when we think of breadth of wisdom, that can touch a variety of different areas of wisdom. And so your wisdom is not unique to one particular area, but it has a wide span. It also has there's something about that bowl, like the way that it holds, that feels very secure, very beautiful, which is a beautiful counterpart to the piece about, or a pairing with the piece about the shiny, reflective, mirrored grail. Because not only can you mirror for people their greatness and their truth and what they're not seeing, but you can also hold them with a degree of safety that would make for a very capable therapist or healer, someone who can hold people very gently and very securely as they're delving into the breadth of who they are, all of their different facets. So you really have the markings of a powerful healer in all of these different ways.
Wow. Thank you, Miriam. That's really profound. And yeah, and at the same time I witness to that, to what you're saying. And I'm feeling I'm very much in a very quiet place right now. I've had a lot of shifting, so I'm not in any teacher role. I find sometimes if I move into that, um, it's probably not received. It's sort of, I get like, who are you to say that? And so, yeah. So I feel like I've just pulled into a more quiet place and just knowing, going deeper in my heart self and making sure that what's there is purity.
Yeah. And that sounds exactly right on with what your grail is showing itself to be, because your profound gifts, at least in this moment, we talked about the grail as evolving, they are to mirror, to hold space, and to create a safety. So when you are in service with others, and those others include yourself, these are the qualities that you have. And so a mirror doesn't speak, unless the person is speaking to it, right? A mirror is silent, and yet it is a profound witness and teacher. So it sounds like you're right on track with where your grail is in this moment, and you are living from its gifts. So thank you for what you're offering.
Thank you, Miriam. You just helped me immensely by your by just even that last explanation. That's really very profound. Thank you very much. And thank you, Monsef, for bringing me in.
Yeah. Thank you, Deborah. Much love. And thank you very much, Miriam, for the guidance. Let's see. Nick, can you please unmute yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Hello, Miriam. It's Nicole. Actually, I've got Nick for some reason, not sure why. I've had a reading and just wondering how they change. If you sort of see something different when you give me a mini reading, especially with different things that people go through time.
Sure, yeah. Thank you. Huh. Okay. Your grail, it's actually shifting even as I'm tuning into it. The first image that I got was a highly polished wood. It almost felt Renaissance era wood. There's like a polished oak wood behind me. It looked a bit like that. But as I tuned into it, it morphed and started looking more like a white glass, a little bit sea glassy, so it had some opaqueness to it. The identifying factor of your grail is there is a cup within it that reminds me of, like, they have these special cups that hold eggs, right? And they're curved, and it's like there's something about the anatomy of that egg-shaped cup that's inside of it. So I want to take a moment to tune into that and to explore it more. It's interesting. There's something, so the other thing that I'll mention about the Grail itself is there's a level of like solidity to it. There's like a thickness that the material itself and the thickness of the material that's holding that cup is really it's unique. Uh, it's a piece that bears mentioning because it's different from the others. So I also just want to tune into that. Never doubt your strength is a huge message that's coming through from your Grail in this moment. Never doubt your strength, and also your capacity to hold things as somewhat separate from yourself. And this sounds like how could that be possible if this Grail is made out of one material? Right? But there's something that feels so distinct about your capacity to hold wisdom and then the body of the Grail itself, even though they're one piece. And so again, I'm going to take another moment because there's something really complex and different that's coming through here. And sometimes it takes like just stating what comes through, going deeper, stating what comes through. So I want to really like get somewhere with this for you, Nicole.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. The holding feels like the work for you right now. That's a huge piece of it. And there's been a sense of separation of your capacity to hold wisdom and then how you show up in the world. And this is your time of integration. So it's really important to pay attention to that holding, but also to the humanness of who you are, right? A human being who holds divine wisdom. And the more that you spend time with both, right? These are different polarities. These are different versions of yourself. We're all on this spectrum from human to divine, from masculine to feminine. It's something about holding these two and shifting your lens and your awareness of yourself that enables the integration of these two to happen, because there's something about the separation of your divine self and your human self that's wanting to integrate right now. So that's the primary message that your Grail wants to communicate. It's also beautiful. I'm also seeing crystal at the bottom and lots of pleating. So I also want to name that there's a lot of shininess, there's a lot of light that's holding this, but your work right now is divine integration.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you very much, Nicole. Much love, and also thank you, Miriam, for the guidance. Let's see. So we have Sue on the phone. Can you please unmute yourself?
Hello, Monaset. Hi, Miriam. My name is Sue. May I please have a Grail reading?
I would be honored. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Huh. It's so funny how every Grail is different. And when I encounter something that I haven't seen before, sometimes it's like, let's take a moment and get to know this. So, Sue, there is something about your Grail, and we may want to mute Sue because of I'm hearing some sound coming through, but and then we can open it up. But there's something about your Grail where I'm seeing crystal inside of it, and then I'm seeing what look like crystal waves inside of the chalice, the bowl of the Grail. And they are distinctly on what to me is the right side. And I just want to make sure that these are your right side. They are. So this is the masculine side of your energy body. And there are 3 distinct wave-like patterns that are inside of the bowl. So again, I've not, seen this particular pattern. And so we're going to ask what their true nature is. It's something about outward flow and emanation. And what is interesting is I think of giving and emanating as something that's either happening in all directions or kind of forward. These are distinctly moving to the right side. And so they're actually moving out into the realm of masculinity in the greater world. So there's some sort of unique code that you have, Sue, that is positively impacting through crystalline energy, through clear crystalline energy, the realm of the divine masculine. You have something unique to offer that is informing, educating, uplifting the divine masculine field. So that impacts everyone, right? Every living being on this planet that is holding that facet of the divine masculine. So there's something just in being yourself, in living and emanating your own energy that is repairing the collective of the divine masculine, and it's doing it in 3 distinct waves, in 3 distinct ways. And there's more information that can be discerned about those particular waves. And there's a piece around like, give it some time and then tune in. So there's something that feels like it's, almost ripe to share, but also it's wanting to be sat with you more, to let it percolate, to let it kind of brew, and then more information will be available. So this is something that you can check in later on to start to learn what are these 3 waves, if you're curious, that I'm offering to the divine masculine. But that field is repairing itself thanks to you. And I'm hearing, and others like you. This is part of your work and you're not alone in it. So thank you, Sue, for what you are offering.
Yeah, thank you.
That was, it's funny. I'm more feminine in this realm than a lot of people have said. You really don't have much masculine in you. And apparently now I'm trying to integrate and balance out both hemispheres. So maybe that's why, that's what I'm hearing. I have to balance, and it's interesting with the crystals. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sue, I would take the words have to out of it, because through your nature, your own divinity is actually already doing it. And so there's no effort involved. The only effort that I might take if I was curious about this would be sitting with open curiosity and learning what is balancing itself through me, because when we have a bowl, that bowl is radiating energy out in certain patterns. And when that bowl has features inside of it, it's shifting the way that energy is flowing out. So there's something that's moving into the masculine field, your own and beyond that, that's happening just by virtue of the shape of the container. So the divinity is already taking care of it. And the only thing that I would be doing if I were you would be getting really curious in a gentle, light kind of way, because the more we clutch and like grasp and have to and force, the more elusive it is. So when we move into that curiosity, that play, and that, lightness, it becomes more clear. So, for me, I'm always seeking what's the next deepest layer and the next deepest layer. So my orientation towards what's happening in you, Sue, is one of like discerning, getting curious, and learning about it. But know that it's happening, so you don't have to do anything. You're already doing it. And thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Sue. Much love, and also thank you very much, Miriam, for the guidance. Yeah. So Grace, she shared thanks, Monsef. Thank you, Miriam. Tina, thank you, Miriam. Love the Grail reading. Going to re-listen, so I hear all the wisdom that you shared. Yeah, so Miriam, really thank you very much for everything you shared today. As always, it was quite a powerful call. Really loved everything you shared, the activation, and also thank you for the support you shared with our audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Monsef. Thank you, everyone who called in. Thank you, everyone who participated and received this energy. It was really an honor, a pleasure, a privilege, as always. I love being here. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again, Miriam. And we have feedback from Wanda. Thank you, Miriam and Monsef, for an incredible session. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for being here with us today, whether on the live call or the replay. Thank you for sharing with us your beautiful energies, for the comments, the questions, and also again, you can find the program that Miriam is offering to us on yourdivineuniqueness.com/Miriam, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Miriam, MIRIAM. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also on YouTube video description, and the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And it is Your Divine Grail reading, clearing, and activation. It includes 60-minute one-on-one private session with Miriam, and also a 3-part Kundalini activation series. And yeah, so Deborah Shiraz, it was my honor, Miriam. Thank you. And Nicole, thank you, Miriam. I feel fully in my heart after my mini Grail reading. Listening to your advice to Sue as well was great. Thank you so much, Monsef. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everyone. And so yeah, with that, I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call. Bye for now.